The training hall of the Galactic Coalition forces stretched 300 meters in every direction, its crystalline dome filtering the harsh light of Kepler 442b's twin suns. Mia stood at attention among 200 recruits, her small human frame dwarfed by the towering Krillians, the armored Vexthor, and the serpentine Sarathi who coiled around their designated spaces. She had expected the stares. What she hadn't expected was the laughter. "Look at the tiny Terran," hissed Commander Zekthor, a Krillian whose forearms rippled with bio-enhanced muscle. His mandibles clicked in amusement as he circled her. "They send us children now. This thing barely reaches my secondary thorax." The other recruits joined in, their various forms of laughter creating a discordant symphony. Mia kept her eyes forward, jaw clenched. She had heard it all before during the selection trials on Earth. Too small, too weak, too fragile. Humans had only been part of the coalition for 3 standard years, and the galaxy's warriors still saw them as the newcomers who had barely survived their own planetary conflicts. "Silence." Commander Vross's voice cut through the mockery like a plasma blade. The Vexthor commander stood on the elevated platform, his exoskeleton gleaming obsidian. "Today you will demonstrate combat proficiency. Hand-to-hand, no weapons. No enhancements beyond your natural biology." Mia's heart rate remained steady at 60 beats per minute. Leo had taught her that control during their months of preparation. Her partner and fellow human recruit stood across the hall, giving her an almost imperceptible nod. They both knew what was coming. "The first bout," Vross announced, "will be instructional. Our 3 senior commanders will demonstrate proper technique against—" His optical sensors fixed on Mia, the human recruit. The laughter erupted again, louder this time. 3 commanders. Against 1 recruit. Against her. Commander Zekthor stepped forward, joined by Commander Thross, a hulking Vexthor whose mass was easily 4 times Mia's, and Commander Slyra, a Sarathi whose venomous fangs had ended 17 confirmed insurgent threats in close-quarters combat. "This is murder," someone whispered in the crowd. Mia walked to the center of the training mat. The 3 commanders formed a triangle around her, each one a legend in coalition combat records. Zekthor's forearms flexed. Thross's exoskeleton locked into combat configuration. Slyra's scales rippled with anticipation. "Begin," Vross commanded. They moved simultaneously, as coordinated as any special operations team. Zekthor's upper arms reached for Mia's shoulders while his lower arms aimed for her legs. Thross charged from behind, his mass intended to crush. Slyra's tail whipped toward her midsection with enough force to crack ribs. What happened next would be analyzed in coalition tactical databases for decades. Mia dropped low, her movement so sudden it seemed to defy physics. Zekthor's arms closed on empty air. She pivoted on her left foot, her right leg sweeping in an arc that caught Thross's leading leg at precisely the moment his weight committed forward. The massive Vexthor crashed down, his exoskeleton scraping across the mat with a sound like grinding metal. 1 second elapsed. Slyra's tail strike came next, but Mia was already moving. Using Zekthor's confusion against him, she grabbed his lower left arm, redirecting his momentum and using his own strength to pull him off balance. In the same motion, she stepped inside his guard, drove her elbow into the neural cluster at his secondary thorax, and twisted. The Krillian commander gasped, his forearms spasming as his nervous system momentarily overloaded. 2 seconds elapsed. Slyra struck again, but Mia had already calculated the Serpentine warrior's attack pattern. Instead of dodging, she moved toward the strike, getting inside the arc of force. Her hand found the pressure point where Slyra's skull met her spine, a vulnerability that existed in 83% of known vertebrate species. She applied exactly 14 pounds of pressure at the correct angle. Slyra collapsed, conscious but completely paralyzed. 3 seconds elapsed. The training hall fell into absolute silence. 3 commanders lay on the mat, neutralized so quickly that most of the recruits hadn't even processed the beginning of the engagement. Mia stood in the center, breathing normally, not even a bead of sweat on her forehead. Commander Vross descended from the platform, his optical sensors running multiple diagnostic scans. "Explanation, now." "Sir," Mia said, her voice steady. "Humans evolved as persistence hunters on a high-gravity world with thousands of predator species. We developed pattern recognition, spatial awareness, and kinetic efficiency as survival mechanisms. Our bodies are weak compared to most species, so we learned to use leverage, timing, and precision instead of strength. She gestured to the 3 commanders, who were being helped up by medical staff. Commander Zekthor has 4 arms, which creates 8 primary attack vectors but also 4 times the neurological complexity to coordinate. Commander Thros's exoskeleton provides armor, but limits flexibility at the joints. Commander Slyra's serpentine structure is powerful, but follows predictable sine wave patterns in close quarters. Leo stepped forward from the crowd. Humans have fought wars on our planet for 10,000 years, sir. We've developed over 300 distinct martial arts systems. We've studied every possible way to defeat opponents larger and stronger than ourselves because on Earth, everything was larger and stronger than us. Ross's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. The galaxy has seen humans as weak because you have no natural armor, no venom, no enhanced strength. Correct, sir, Mia replied. But we have something better. We have adaptability. We have 10 billion individuals who spent millennia learning how to survive against impossible odds. Every human child learns that size and strength don't guarantee victory. Strategy does. Precision does. Understanding your opponent better than they understand themselves does. Zekthor had recovered enough to speak, his mandibles working slowly. The tiny Terran, he said, his tone now holding respect instead of mockery, just taught 3 commanders a lesson in humility. Commander Vross addressed the entire assembly. Let this be your first real lesson. The galaxy is vast. Every species brings unique advantages. The humans bring something we've forgotten in our centuries of enhancement and technological superiority. They bring the pure, refined skill of natural warriors who had nothing but their minds and bodies. He turned to Mia. Recruit Mia. You will assist in redesigning our close-quarters combat curriculum. It appears we have much to learn from Earth's warriors. As the recruits dispersed, whispers of awe replacing the earlier mockery, Leo approached Mia with a grin. 3 seconds. That's a new record. Mia allowed herself a small smile. On Earth, 3 seconds is an eternity in combat. Here, we just taught the galaxy why humanity doesn't need to be the biggest or the strongest. She looked up at the crystalline dome, at the alien stars beyond. We just need to be the smartest, the most adaptable, and the most determined. That's the human way. And in that moment, 200 alien warriors learned why humanity had not only survived their violent little planet, but had earned their place among the stars, not through superior technology or physical dominance, but through the one advantage that no species could match, the refined skill of 10,000 years of warriors who turned weakness into strategy and strategy into victory.